Hello, 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 everyone. Today is your friendly neighborhood queer Christian, and today is the Friday Word. And in light of what has happened on Wednesday, initially I was going to talk about 2020, reflection on 2020, but that didn't really feel appropriate now. It felt more appropriate to be talking about and addressing, the incidents of what happened on Wednesday, the first Wednesday in 2021, where we saw a group of rioters basically invade, vandalize, and participate in the death of 5 individuals, right, at the Capitol. And so we know all the implications of it. And I'm not going to really focus on that too much really today. But the reason I want to sort of address it, I want to sort of liken it to Matthew 20, 20 to 28, where the woman came to Jesus and asked, could her son sit at the right and left hand of him, and he said that that is not something I can promise to you. That has to be prepared by my Father. And the disciples were angry because how dare this person tries to be first. They try to get ahead of of them. And Jesus is like, basically, no, just because you're with me does not mean you have of any greater importance than these 2 young men. Amen. He said that if you want to be a great man, then ask to be someone's slave. If you want to lead, then ask to serve. Right. And it's always, loaded as a Black woman to say the term slave. I'm just going to keep it 100. Right. But the understanding is that if we want to be of something great, if we want to offer something to the world, then we should serve, we should give, right? And if you think about, if you truly are a great leader, as I think Barack Obama was, if you are a great leader, then truly great leadership is serving, right? Because you're in the interest of the people you're leading. Amen. And I bring that back to Wednesday because, one, we know all the implications. I'm not going to get so much into the conversation about, if this was other groups and stuff like that, because we know that, right? But what I really want to focus on and think about is that there is a lot of focus and hatred toward these people who went to the Capitol. And I'm not saying people shouldn't be angry, not saying it's not justified, because it was outrageous. We know that. And I always keep it 100. When I initially I was on the phone with my friend Sherry, and and I was going off, blah 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 blah. This shit, I keep it 100, right? I am as fleshy as anybody else, amen. But then when I sort of sat back and really thought about it, and and again, spoke with God, it was that way of when I really looked at them. If you think of, I have this picture up, and I don't know how clearly you can see it, but this is the horned man who is, I would say, probably the star of the riot, right? And, looking like, low rent Jamiroquai, right? And the men that are here, when I look at this picture and I see these men, I don't see people with hashtag winning. Now, they did get what they needed that day, right? And they got themselves, they're all over the news, right? This will be their heyday. This will probably be the height of their heyday, right? And that includes the man who sat at one of the desks in Pelosi's office, all of them, right? The ones who were smashing through the windows. Again, it's not that they should not be held responsible for what they're doing. They should be. But again, if you look at these pictures, I'm like, are these people who are going home to happy homes? Are they is somebody running to them with open arms? Are they having fulfilling jobs? They have fantastic relationships in their community. Are they writing and exploring great ideas? I don't think so. I could be wrong. I could be. But I don't think so. I feel that if you want to find susceptible people, you look for the disenfranchised. And you feed them images and you feed them lies. And you make them riled up, like in the Bible, amen? We think about Jesus, right? They people just sort of fed into those mobs. He's this. Who does he think he is? He ain't nobody, right? You just keep saying it like a slow drip, until it becomes reality, amen? You think about Moses when he led them out of Egypt. Now, they just came out of Egypt, came out of slavery. And when they didn't have a drink, all of a sudden they were like, I think I want to go back to Egypt. Can we get an idol up in here, right? This is what happens if you feed people and you feed them and you feed them and you feed them, and you don't even have to lead them to the water. They will run to that water, right, to drown themselves. And I would argue that these people are the absolute same. That doesn't mean they don't need to be held responsible. It doesn't mean that people shouldn't be angry. But I also will say that, as Sir Acton said, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And in this case, we have people who are in positions of power, the reigning class, who benefited from these actions, who will not pay the same price. These people are going to pay a high price. These people are going to lose their homes. They're going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose standing in their community. They will also have supporters, don't get me wrong, and people who will continue to support. And there'll be another group to take their place. Amen. But if you think about who is really going to benefit from this the most, was their leader serving them, looking out for their concerns? You tell me. Amen. And so I just sort of want to leave that with, in terms of thinking of this week, is I'm not saying not for people not to be angry, but in that anger, if there's a space for it, a tad bit of mercy, because it's a really sad day. And I feel really bad. A person lost their life for nothing. That was her responsibility. I'm not, that was her responsibility. But, now there is a family that's without a mother. For what? Amen. So amen. So prayer chat will be tomorrow at 1:30. The information will be above or below. If I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you will listen to this next week. I hope somebody's not too angry saying this girl is, whatever. I hope not. I just feel that as a Christian, it is my responsibility to be part of anything that is going to help to support the teachings of the carpenter. Amen. Bye.